I found out yesterday that I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go.
Have you ever noticed something strange happening in the American job market? People who have worked their entire lives, built their careers from the ground up, and given decades of service are being shown the door. Not because they are bad at their jobs, but because they are too experienced. That's the quiet crisis no one wants to talk about. In today's video, we are diving deep into the painful reality of why other workers in America are being laid off and what that means for all of us. So I'll put the stitches together so that you enjoy. I'll be back to share my true sense. Don't forget to subscribe.
Well, I'm sitting here on my porch trying to get some fresh air. I found out yesterday that I was one of approximately 150 people in my organization that got let go, laid off, restructuring. That's what we were told, whatever that means. The last 24 hours have been actually 24 plus hours, I guess. It's now 28 hours. Have been pretty tough. A lot of emotions. It's really the first time I think I've ever been laid off in my, God knows how long I've been working. It seems like forever. 30 years maybe. I don't know. Long time. 30 plus years. I think this is my first actual layoff. So, not performance based. I'm eligible for rehire, so I guess that's a positive. But so now I'm out in the market at 53 years old. Don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, I do have some severance. Still waiting to find out the details on that. So at least I know I'm going to be carried for a little bit before I have to start dipping into any reserves or any other additional funds. Trying to avoid all that. So I think I'm going to try to keep track of this journey. I know there are a lot of people out there that are in the same boat with me or been in the same boat. Job market's kind of crap right now, so I'm not looking forward to trying to find a new one. So here's post one of I don't know how many, but we'll see where it goes from here.
And the science and experience we've developed here will live on through you. On behalf of the board, the leadership team, and myself personally, thank you for your passion, your ideas, and your perseverance. Perhaps more importantly, while we assembled phenomenal individuals together as a team, we fostered an even more phenomenal culture together. While war in its current state will not continue, our culture will ensure so many of these relationships will continue going forward, both professionally and personally. Your work mattered, it still matters. Yeah, it's bad when I have to read a script, but there's all kinds of things set up for you guys today. Tanya will be telling you a lot of details, and there's a lot of meetings being scheduled. Obviously, we want to make sure we look after you guys, okay?
So this is my last week at Microsoft. I was lucky enough to be chosen as one of the 6,000 people to be laid off this week. It's the 50th anniversary, so I was waiting for a gift, and this is, I guess, what I got. It's sad to be leaving, but also a new chapter of our life opening up, and there's many opportunities. So I'm looking forward to the future.
I was laid off yesterday, surprisingly, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I have 6 weeks severance, which essentially gives me 6 weeks to find a job. My husband is unemployed also. He's been looking probably for almost a year for a job and hasn't found anything. So we are, to say the least, more than a little fucked. Also, our mortgage has to be renewed in June, and mortgage rates are not what they were 5 years ago. The orange Dorito down south is making our economy go crazy. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a job, never mind in my own field. So to say I'm terrified would be putting it very lightly.
Well, remember when I said things couldn't get any worse between it's a family thing that's going on. I had to return my computer because of that. My husband's surgery, everything else. Well, I just got laid off. I just found out, and I don't have a job anymore. So, not only is my husband going for surgery on Thursday, financially we've got stuff going on. Yeah, I no longer have a job. So, cool. I mean, at this point, 2026 has to be my year, because 2025 is really fucking sucking right now. I sort of knew this was happening, and I, had talked about my job not going well, but I was blindsided. I really didn't think it was going to happen today or this month. So yeah, here I am. I hope your day is going well. Okay, bye.
28 years ago, I started in this building as a contractor, and I know a lot of you guys want story time as to the last video. Listen, I don't want to leave. I like my job here. I'm gonna miss my friends. I've said goodbye to everybody today. This is officially my last day at Microsoft. And, doing the old tour around to some buildings I used to work at, and, saying goodbye to people. But this is where it started. This is where it's gonna end. I do want to say, I know a lot of people think I have ill will or I'm angry. I'm just sad. I like working for Microsoft. I get it's a big corporation. And they can only do what they can do. But I want to thank them for all they've done for me over the years. I really have enjoyed working here, and I'm going to miss it an awful lot. So everybody that has all those weird comments in the last one, they really are a good company. I don't like how this is ending, but...
Okay, so next adventure. Yesterday I got laid off from my job. I worked at the Boeing company for 14 years on the 787 program. So I'll definitely miss that, as the company's doing a restructure. So I was one of the 17,000 Boeing employees that got laid off. Anyways, I'm hauling my blue car up to Western North Carolina to donate it to a family that lost everything in Hurricane Helene. The back of the truck is full of supplies. So we are on our way to Western North Carolina to drop this car off to a family that lost their entire home in the flood. So I'm gonna keep posting some videos along the way. And it'll be about a 6-hour drive, headed up right now.
Hi, my name is AJ, and 2 weeks ago I was unexpectedly laid off from my job, and I'm sharing a little bit about how I'm processing the next steps in my grief and staying resilient through the process. So one is to first focus on your feelings about the layoff. There's this, in Brene Brown's Dare to Lead, she talks about the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is, I did something bad, I made a mistake, maybe I have some regrets about that. Shame is, I am inherently a mistake, I am inherently bad. And when you're laid off, and even oftentimes when you're fired, maybe you made some mistakes, but you are not inherently bad. And it's important for us to make sure you're not surrounding yourself in shame through this process, because that's not going to give you the energy to, one, share what's going on with yourself with friends and your network, and two, ask for help. And the reason why that's as important is because I've heard a lot of people share with me that they didn't have the energy to even apply to jobs because they just felt so negative and they felt so rejected. And a phrase that was used with me or shared with me a lot was, it's not rejection, it's redirection. And that seems a little maybe toxically positive, but it does resonate a little bit. I like to think about going after a new job like fishing. And I don't know why I'm using that metaphor, because I don't even know how to fish. But when you cast your line, you don't always get a bite. And even if you get a bite, you don't always reel it in. And sometimes that's mutual. You're like, oh, that fish isn't the right fish for me. And you throw it back, right? And if you get into the mindset that every time you apply to a job and you get a no, that's rejection, your energy levels are going to go all the way to zero, and you're not going to be in a good headspace.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my 2 cents, like what I think about today's video, why other workers are being laid off. Okay, so it's easy to assume that layoffs are just about downsizing or poor performance, but when you start looking at who is constantly affected, disturbing trend appears. Workers in their 50s, 60s, often some of them mostly loyal and knowledgeable people in a company, are being pushed out to their position at alarming rates. And it's not just happening in one sector, from tech to healthcare to manufacturing. Other employees are being replaced or let go, sometimes under the label of restructuring, other time with no clear reason at all. What's really going on here? A lot of it has to do with perception. In a corporate culture that glamorizes youth, hustle, and hyper productivity, other workers are often seen as slow, adapt, and too traditional or too expensive. It doesn't matter if you're delivering result or mentoring your team, if you don't fit into the new fast-paced digital-first mode, you may suddenly find yourself the chopping block. Many companies don't come right out and say it, but their actions speak volume. They chase fresh graduates or early career professionals who are willing to work longer hours for less money, leaving seasoned workers sidelines. It's incredibly ironic. These are the same people who trained young employees, solved crises before they were smartphones, and helped build the company from scratch. But now they've seen as outdated. And unfortunately, the legal protection for workers are not always strong enough to prevent this from happening. Age discrimination law exists, yes, but proving it in court in a long, expensive, and exhausting battle. So many older workers simply walk away in silence. Their careers ain't not on their terms, but on someone else's timeline. And if you think this issue only affects older generation, think again. This is a warning for all of us. If loyalty, experience, and long-term commitment no longer matter in the workplace, then none of us are truly safe because the truth is we are all aging. And the system that pushes out 60-year-old today will do the same to you when you hit that age. Unless something changes, we have to start asking why our society treat aging like a flaw instead of strength. Why is youth praised while experience quietly discarded? The impact of this layoff goes beyond lost jobs. For many other workers, work is not just about income, it's about purpose, identity, and dignity. Losing a job at 25 is hard, but losing one at 58 can be devastating. Finding a new position becomes nearly impossible, no matter how skilled or qualified you are. Employers glance at a resume with 3 decades of experience and wonder if you'll be too expensive or too close to retirement. Suddenly, your years of hard work become a red flag instead of a badge of honor. And let's not forget the financial consequences. Many of these workers are still paying off mortgage, helping kids through college, or trying to build enough savings to retire comfortably. Being laid off in your 50s or 60s can destroy those plans overnight. Retirement gets delayed, healthcare becomes unaffordable. Some people are forced into early retirement they didn't choose and were not financially ready for. Others left string together part-time jobs or relying on government assistance after years of stable work. This is not just a work problem, it's a culture problem. We have created an environment where value is measured by how fast you can type, how well you can adapt to new apps, or how many sleek messages you can send before noon. But wisdom, people skills, long-term thinking, or trade orders wake up bring are being brushed aside. That's a loss for everyone, not just those being laid off. When companies get rid of experienced employees, they lose mentors, institutional memory, and leadership. It's affecting performance, company culture, and ultimately the bottom line. So, what can be done? For one, we need stronger protection for other workers, real ones that can't be easily bypassed through corporate ROFOs. We need employees to rethink what value means. It's not just about tech skills or energy levels, it's about judgment, resilience, emotion intelligence, qualities you often only develop over time. We also need to change the narrative that people lose relevance as they age. That's a lie. Other workers still have too much to give. If willing to listen, learn, and lead, let them lead. It's okay. If you're watching this video and you're in your 20s, 30s, this is not just a story about someone else's struggle. It's about your future too, because unless we fix this now, you'll be facing the same uncertainty in. So the question is, do we want to build a good work culture? This conversation is very important because it's gonna help a lot of people, those in those who are aging in their 50s, in their 60s, like, yeah, because it's coming too much. A lot of people are coming on TikTok, just try to open up, like, say they've been laid off from their workplaces, they don't know what to do, they have a lot of bills to pay, but they don't even have plan B, they don't know who's going to get them. Like, this is the reality all these days, which is not good, guys. Like, all these jobs, if someone stays for them long, they should consider that person. Like, before even consider new one, you need to consider this person who's been loyal to you for 28 years. It's like, it's not easy to be loyal to a company, help it build, see it glowing, all this. Okay, they're helping, these people is helping you to bring more profit and all this, and you just let them go in the blink of an eye because you just want them out of the company. And you've seen younger workers who want like little money and long for and work for longer hours. Like, it's not actually fair. Just try to put these people in your shoes. How can you even, what can you even do, or what are you going to do as a person? So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next episode. Take care of yourselves. All I can say for now is